Boy, we're talking about a big game changer when it comes to this Icom 7300 Mark II. Let's talk about it. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to HamShackTV. I'm your host, Josh, AA4WX. Hope you had a very Merry Christmas. Today, we're talking about the Icom 7300 Mark II, which I am a huge fan of. And I have this video on loan from Gigaparts. So this video is brought to you by Gigaparts. Folks, if you're looking for ham radio gear, maker supplies, computer parts, computers herself, all kinds of cool things, check out my friends in Gigaparts. If you're there in Huntsville, Alabama, you can go by their store at 6123 University Avenue in Huntsville, or you can shop online in your socks at gigaparts.com. And if you use my coupon code HamShackTV, you're going to get double rewards points. So check them out, gigaparts.com, and tell them I sent you. HamShackTV is the coupon code. All right, so let's dive in here to some of this equipment I'm messing with here. So you see down below me right now, you see the screen. Now, of course, it's cropped in, but the screen from the Icom 7300 Mark II. But over here on the big screen to this side, you can see I'm operating it using SDR control. This app is available on the Apple App Store as well as the Apple App Store. I want to tell you a little bit about this software. This is developed by Ham-Radio-Apps Marcus DL8 MRE. So a lot of times with foreign software, I'm very leery of this software. But this has just been phenomenal. And I want to shout out to Gray Mampota for turning me on to this. What a fantastic piece of software. So basically, you set your radio up. So a couple things we need to talk about. Typical FT8, you want to run the civ code as 94 hotel. Not with this. If you're going to use this software, you're going to need to keep it to the default. I think it's Bravo 6 hotel. I could be wrong about that, but whatever the default is, you're going to want to keep it to that. This is being operated from the LAN port, the brand new LAN port that's on the back of the radio. And folks, I cannot tell you, this is just so cool. So you can operate the radio from your phone completely, but you can also operate it using your desktop computer. What a cool deal. Now, I don't have any affiliation with ham radio apps, but I really believe in the software. I think you're going to like it. So here we are. We're on 14074. And you can see my waterfall here lit up. This is FT8, right? So within this software, there is a native FT8 client. So we'll open that up, and this is what it looks like. Very similar to WSJTX, but a clean look. So this works really easily. We're going to just click CQ and see what happens. So we're sending out a CQ right now. And couple things to note about this software. If you do run World Radio League, which I highly recommend World Radio League, guys, go to worldradioleague.com. If you use coupon code HamShackTV, you get 10% off their prices, but you can use World Radio League for free. There is a free option on it as well. Go to settings, and then go to external software, and your WSJTX log message. You want to make sure your port lines up with whatever you have in the World Radio League cat control. So here's my cat control. I don't have cat control turned on, but if you go in the logger integration settings, you go to WSJTX UDP port 2237, and then select your log that you want it to go in. And if you go back here, you can see I have it enabled. 2237 is my port. So nobody answered that CQ. We'll give it one more CQ and see what happens. So what's happening is whenever I do have a valid QSO with somebody, it will log it for me. Now, this isn't going to be automatic as far as starting your QSOs again. It's not going to do that. It's not going to work like that. But We'll see if anybody comes back on this one. If not, I'll hunt somebody. So it's not a set it and forget it. This is a little bit different than that. Actually, let's change to the odd side. The one thing is that I found with this FT8 client is that you can't, it doesn't work exactly like WSJTX or JTDX. Like you can interrupt your QSO, but you can't really change messages at a drop of a hat, just like you can with those two native apps. Here's the challenge that I'm finding with the Civ settings. If you change to 94H, yes, you can use WSJTX or JTDX. But you can't use this this SDR control software. Let's grab this call right here. See if he comes back to us. You can see also we have Maryland and Massachusetts. A couple of these actually do show states listed in them. Actually, we're going to try to grab that Maryland station there. November India 3 Victor. November India 3 Victor is the station that we're calling. And you can see in this SDR control software, you have an RF power meter. Yes, I run 100 watts FT8. Sue me. I don't care. You got an SWR meter. You got your power. You can adjust your power really easily right there. This is your mic level, your output level out. We got an answer. So you didn't hear that, but in my ears, I got an answer from the station. There you can see November India 3 Victor is answering me with a positive 13 or 18. I'm responding with a +1. And we'll wait on him to respond. There it is. There's the Roger, Roger, Roger. NIV or NI3V, A4WX73, QSO finished with 73. And then automatically we go into World Radio League. Right there it is. It's already logged. Isn't that cool, guys? So I have had, you know, we talked with Tim last night on the impromptu live stream Christmas night. And wow, we got a response again already. Let's see. Somebody else call us. Stand by. We did. KJ5DZV. We talked about this a little bit last night on the live stream, and this is really putting like flex capabilities into an affordable price point. Of course, anything's affordable if you find it affordable. But there you go. There's the next QSO already wrapped up. But this thing does so much. This particular piece of software, and I'll get into more of the features later. But if you go up here to your menu, you got CW decoder, you got HFX ready, PSK, APRS. I don't think you're really going to do APRS on this particular radio. Slow scan television, as well as FT8, and you can do FT4. You can see there's no click button right there to change it to FT4. Then you've got other tools here. You got a MIDI controller, CTR2 controller, the dial controller. Well, if you want a manual VFO, that kind of thing, you can do that. You got a beam, CW keyer. If you want to do keyboard to keyboard, you can do that. And as you can see, my FT8 did not continue because no one else CQ'd me, or no one else QRZ'd me, or whatever you want to say, called me. But all kinds of cool stuff. You got your band playing available here, your DX cluster, all kinds of cool stuff. So, folks, just because you want to use this SDR control does not mean that you can't use a World Radio League. You totally can. Folks, I'm telling you, World Radio League is an absolute fantastic thing. Go check out my friends over there. WorldRadioLeague.com. Use coupon code HamShackTV. You're going to get double rewards points. More videos to come on the Icom IC-7300 Mk2. Hope everybody had a very, very Merry Christmas. We'll have more content. Christmas is past us. We're getting ready for the 2026 HamShackTV HamFest Tour, fueled by Ham Radio Prep and World Radio League. Coming up on Orlando, then Dayton, and then Huntsville. Can't wait. Hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for subscribing. Hit the notification bell. Leave a comment. 73, everybody. A4WX, WSCB 69.